We all hear it constantly, right? The cybersecurity basics, strong passwords, two-factor, and VPNs. It's a lot. It is, and you start to wonder if you're really doing enough. Exactly. But what if there's more? Like simple things, powerful things that just aren't talked about as much. Well, that's what I'm going to talk about today. We're looking beyond those standard tips. Think of it as moving from just checking the boxes to actually being properly protected. So let's unpack this. Based on my experiences of creating the strategies and solutions for enterprise and governments, clients, for protecting them from cyber attacks, and building the 40 of my online privacy and security. Today I'm going to pull out the key insights from this knowledge base and stuffs that can genuinely help you level up your digital safety. Go beyond the obvious. Let's jump into tip number 1. It might sound like a bit much at first, using a totally separate email address just for banking and investments. I know, and you know too, we all use one main email for everything. Setting up another one feels like a hassle, right? Most people stick to one address out of habit. But here's the power of this tip. It effectively shuts down phishing attempts. It turns your inbox into a high-security zone. Think about it. You get a scam email pretending to be Amazon or your bank. If it lands in your regular, everyday inbox, you might be tempted to click. But if you know your bank only has your secret address, and this mail hit your public one, you instantly know it's fake. No second guessing. Is it hard to set up? Not at all. A basic Gmail is easy enough, but if you want to level up, there are even better options for the privacy conscious. I suggest services like Tutanota or Proton. They offer end-to-end encryption, keeping your financial notifications even more secure from prying eyes. The final step? Just log into your bank or investment accounts and swap the email address on file. It's a small move for a massive security boost. It's simple, it's effective, and it makes you a much smaller target for hackers. It's all about making yourself harder to hit. So staying with this theme of making yourself less of a target, let's talk about how you handle your money in the real world. My tip number 2 is, do your best to use Tap to Pay. Have you ever wondered how Tap to Pay truly works? We're going to break down the surprising security mechanism behind mobile payments, known as tokenization. Okay, random question. When we pay for stuff with a credit card, what's actually happening? I mean, we just hand over the card or stick it in the machine, right? That's what I always thought. Pretty simple, or at least it seems simple. The common assumption is that your card number is always transferred to the store. But is that still the case with modern payment methods? But I heard there's actually a way to pay without the store ever getting your real credit card number, which makes no sense at first, right? I always thought they had to have your number to charge you. That's what I believed, but apparently that's not true anymore. This is where tap-to-pay methods, like Google Pay or Apple Pay, change the game. When you just tap your phone instead of using your physical card, it looks really simple on the outside, but behind the scenes, it's actually working in a very different way. You might assume that when you tap, your credit card number is still transmitted to the merchant. So when I tap my phone to pay, the store still gets my actual credit card number, right? That's what I assumed. But nope, that's the surprising part. My real card number is never sent to the merchant at all, which honestly sounds impossible at first. So what are they getting instead? The real magic of Tap to Pay lies in a security feature called tokenization. What the store actually gets is something called a token. You can think of it like a stand-in number. It's kind of like a temporary card number that represents your real card, but it isn't your actual credit card number at all. These tokens are not only substitutes for your real card number, but they also have a critical limitation that provides extra security. And here's the key part. That token is usually designed for just that one transaction, so it can't be reused somewhere else. Even if someone managed to steal it, it would be basically useless outside of that specific purchase. Let's use a common scenario to illustrate how this protects you. For example, if I tap my phone at Starbucks, they still get paid like normal, but they only receive the token. They never actually see my real Visa or MasterCard number. What if the merchant system itself is compromised in a data breach? Okay, but what if Starbucks gets hacked later? That's actually the beauty of this system. Hackers wouldn't find my real card number there, because Starbucks never had it in the first place. So there's nothing useful for them to steal, since that token can't be turned back into my actual card number. So Tap to Pay isn't just about speed and convenience. It's a modern way to add a layer of protection to your financial transactions. It shields your real card number by relying on tokens, so go ahead and tap. It's safer than you thought. And setting up Tap to Pay is easy. Just add your card to your phone's wallet app. It takes a few minutes. My third tip, we're talking about a simple yet powerful fix to dramatically improve your online security. Think of your online security like a system that needs two keys turned at the same time. Super secure, like launching a missile. Dramatic, but you get the idea. True security often requires multiple layers of authentication. It's about making the process as difficult as possible for intruders. For almost all our online accounts, those two keys are our username and our password. Both matter, both unlock everything. But here's the worrying part. One of those keys, your username, which is usually your email address, is probably already floating around out there. This exposure comes from old data breaches, where companies you signed up for years ago got hacked and your information was leaked. So half your security system is already weakened. Not your fault, but it's the reality of how often data gets leaked into the public domain. The fix is simple in theory. Make both keys unique and strong. We already talk about having unique passwords. But you also need to focus on creating unique identifiers for your accounts, meaning unique email addresses too. This tip is about creating unique username emails, also known as email aliases, so a breach on one service doesn't give away your master email. Unique emails for every login sounds intense, especially when you think about all the accounts you already have. Realistically, going back and changing hundreds of old accounts isn't happening for most people. Don't try to change your past. The practical advice is simple. Start doing this for every new account you create from now on. Make it a simple, powerful habit. There are great tools and even low-tech tricks that make creating unique emails easy. Look into features like Apple's Hide My Email or password managers that generate aliases, and dedicated services like Simple Login. They create unique, disposable emails automatically. For a low-tech trick, there's the Email Plus method. If your email is mymail@gmail.com, you can sign up for Netflix using mymail plus netflix@gmail.com. It still arrives in your normal inbox. Using these tagged or unique emails offers an immediate security benefit you can track. If one of those tagged emails starts getting spam or shows up in a breach, you instantly know which service leaked your data. This ability to track the source of security problems is incredibly powerful for maintaining your digital health. To wrap up, remember the two-key metaphor for maximum security. Two strong keys and two unique identifiers lead to one much safer digital life. Start with your next account, build the habit, and build your digital security from there. My fourth tip is about protecting your financial life. We're talking about the power of a credit freeze to stop identity theft cold. Identity theft is a serious threat, but there's one simple tool that offers incredible protection, yet is often overlooked. Alright, this next one. It seems so simple, yet so powerful. A credit freeze. Why don't more people do this? It's incredibly effective. A credit freeze is essentially locking down your credit report so no one can view it without your permission. You basically tell the main credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, hey, don't give out my credit report to anyone unless I say so. This key action stops identity thieves cold, preventing them from using your personal information to open new accounts. If someone tries to open a credit card or loan in your name, the lender needs to check your credit report first to verify your application. But if your credit is frozen, the bureau says nope, access denied, the check can't happen, so the application immediately gets rejected. Let's look at this process in action and understand what happens when a request comes in for your frozen report. When a lender attempts to pull your report, the system instantly responds, credit frozen, cannot proceed. The identity theft attempt is stopped immediately. Okay, but here's the big question everyone has. What if you need credit? Will you be stuck if you want a loan? This concern often comes up when people think about big purchases, like a mortgage, a car loan, or opening a new credit card. Not at all. That's the main hesitation people have, but it's actually super easy to manage. You simply temporarily thaw your freeze for a short period of time, and then you can freeze it again afterward. You go online or call the bureau, tell them you need to unfreeze it for a specific time or lender, and then freeze it again afterward. Here's a real-life example of how quickly this process works when you need access. The video even mentions the speaker forgetting, getting denied, thawing it online, and reapplying successfully moments later. So yeah, it's a minor inconvenience once in a while when you need to thaw it, but the protection you get is massive. It's about weighing that minor time investment against the catastrophic consequences of full-blown identity theft. There's really no downside to having a freeze in place. It stops new identity theft attempts before they even start. So protect yourself today by initiating a credit freeze with all 3 major credit bureaus. Can you actually remove your personal information from the internet? That my 5th tip is about. We all think about passwords and security, but then there's the bigger question. What about all the personal information that's already floating around out there? I keep hearing about these companies called data brokers, and they seem to hold a lot of our public data. Let's introduce the source of much of this online data clutter: data brokers. Data brokers are companies whose entire business model is built on collecting and selling our personal information. They collect everything from our names, home addresses, email addresses, and phone numbers, sometimes even location history. The alarming part is that most of us never directly gave these brokers permission to share our information. When we look at the sheer scale of this data collection, it can feel truly overwhelming. I saw a report mentioning a breach involving billions of records, like 2.9 billion pieces of personal data exposed. When you hear numbers like that, it honestly feels kind of hopeless. But here's something a lot of people don't realize. In many places, you actually have the legal right to tell data brokers to delete your information. You're not completely powerless. However, exercising that right manually is a huge undertaking. Doing it yourself can feel like a full-time job. You have to find all these data broker companies and go to each website. You'd have to fill out removal forms, send ID verification, and then follow up again later. It's a lot of time and effort. This is why some people choose to use what's called a data removal service. Instead of you chasing down all those companies individually, a dedicated service does the tedious work on your behalf. The idea is that once you sign up, they automate the process. They search for your information across data broker sites and send out removal requests for you. But this part is absolutely critical. You have to make sure the service itself is trustworthy. This means checking their privacy policy, understanding how they use your information, and making sure they're not just another data broker pretending to help. The information these services use to find your records is usually stuff that's already public anyway, like your name and address. They are not creating new exposure. They are just helping clean up what's already out there. It doesn't erase your digital footprint overnight, but it can certainly make a big dent in that overwhelming data mess. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. What about everyday habits? Like connecting to Wi-Fi? Here comes my 6th tip, 2 related points here. We often talk about big security issues, but today, let's focus on the small, everyday habits that matter, like connecting to Wi-Fi. The first habit we're focusing on is the temptation of public Wi-Fi. Public Wi-Fi is everywhere: coffee shops, airports, hotels. And yeah, it's super convenient. You sit down, connect in 2 seconds, and you're online. But here's the issue. You really don't know how secure that network is. Who set it up? Is anyone monitoring traffic? Public networks can be an easy target for attackers. A safer option in many situations is just using your phone's mobile data. You can turn on your hotspot and connect your laptop to that instead. Your mobile connection is usually faster these days anyway, and more importantly, you know exactly who your provider is. It's a trusted network compared to some random public Wi-Fi you've never seen before. Here's the second habit most of us have. We leave Wi-Fi and Bluetooth turned on all the time. I definitely used to do this without even thinking about it. Why is that bad? Leaving these signals active is a common habit of convenience that we need to rethink for security. When those signals are on, your phone is constantly scanning for networks and devices to connect to. It's basically announcing, "Hey, I'm here." Security experts call this an open threat vector, a possible pathway someone could use to access your device. Of course, turning Wi-Fi and Bluetooth off every time you leave home sounds annoying. Convenience is the big barrier. We all like things to just work automatically. One option is just building a small habit. Turn them off when you leave home, turn them back on when you get back. It takes a few seconds, but it reduces how often your device is broadcasting itself. Or better yet, automate it. You can use tools like iPhone shortcuts or automation apps to create rules, like, when I leave home, turn off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. That way you keep the convenience, but still close that potential security gap. Okay, last tip. That will tell you what to do before your phone gets stolen, so you can be prepared for the worst. We're hearing about it more and more lately: phone theft. It's not a rare event anymore. Losing your phone is more than just annoying. It's a serious issue, and understanding the risks is the first step. Phone theft is a double hit. First, it's a huge hassle, but second, and far more serious, is the security risk. The hassle includes replacing the device, getting a new SIM card, and logging back into every single app and service. Our phones hold photos, messages, banking apps, saved passwords. They basically contain our entire digital lives. So besides just trying not to drop your phone or get it snatched, what can we actually do ahead of time to protect ourselves? There are two big things that you can do right now that will make a huge difference if your phone is ever stolen. The first step, and this is fundamental, is to back up your phone regularly. This is key to protecting your personal data. Use cloud backups, computer backups, whatever works for you. The goal is simple. If your phone disappears, your data doesn't disappear with it. With regular backups, your photos, contacts, notes, and important files are still safe somewhere else. You can easily restore your digital life onto a new device. The second big step is turning on the built-in security features that are specifically designed to deal with phone theft. Both iPhones and Android phones now have tools that make stolen devices much harder to use, protecting your data even if the physical device is gone. On iPhones, there's a feature called Stolen Device Protection. This adds a crucial layer of security if your phone is away from familiar places. You need to turn this on in Settings under Face ID and Passcode. When enabled, your phone adds extra security if it's away from trusted locations like your home or workplace. If your phone is stolen and a thief tries to access sensitive information, this feature kicks in to block them. Sensitive actions, like changing your Apple ID password or accessing saved passwords, require Face ID or Touch ID, plus a built-in time delay. This makes it much harder for a thief to lock you out. Android has similar protections, including theft detection features that automatically lock the phone if suspicious movement is detected. This includes automatically locking the phone if it detects it being suddenly grabbed and run off with, giving you crucial time to react. The goal on both platforms is the same. Make the stolen phone basically useless to the thief while keeping your data protected. And there's even more coming. We're seeing new updates that add extra layers of security. New features are adding ways to lock individual sensitive apps so they require Face ID or fingerprint before opening. It's another simple layer to protect your most sensitive information. Now we are moving into the wrap-up of our series, Leveling Up Your Digital Security, Advanced Protection. This has actually been pretty eye-opening. We went way beyond the usual advice like just use a strong password. There's a whole other level of digital security most people never really talk about, and it's essential for protecting yourself in the modern world. Let's review the small changes that can have a surprisingly big impact on your overall security posture. For instance, things like using a separate email for your most important accounts can dramatically limit your exposure. Tapping to pay so your real card number stays hidden, and even freezing your credit are real upgrades in how you protect yourself. The best part is that adopting these advanced security measures is much easier than you might initially believe. What surprised me most is how simple a lot of these steps are to set up. They sound advanced, but they aren't overwhelming or difficult. Once you know about them, they're just small changes in settings or habits that quickly become second nature. Remember that digital security is fundamentally about layers, with each step offering more robust protection. Each step adds a little more protection, and each positive habit makes you a slightly harder target for threats. You don't have to implement every suggestion all at once. Even just picking one or two of these tips can make a real difference in how exposed you are online. It also makes me wonder, what other assumptions do we all have about online safety that we accept without questioning? We need to question what we accept as normal without ever questioning whether there's a safer way to manage our digital interactions. We live so much of our lives online now. Banking, shopping, messaging, photos. It's worth staying curious and occasionally digging a little deeper into how all of it really works. In conclusion, while the foundational security measures are crucial, don't stop there. Strong passwords and two-factor authentication are still vital, but there's a whole second layer of protection that most people never tap into. So the real takeaway is to be more intentional about your digital habits. A few smart changes today can save you a lot of stress down the road. Better habits, more layers, smarter digital life.
That wraps up today's discussion. Thanks for watching and tuning in. If you're curious to dive deeper into this topic, make sure to visit our website. The link is in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you never miss an update. See you next time.